All right, welcome back to the Caden Weston Show. We're gonna get into our picks. It's Friday night, so we do have some games on right now. Actually, Houston, Colorado playing. Um, we also have Kansas State and Arizona coming on here in a few minutes too. So got some good action on tonight. Um, but before we go and get into our picks this week, I want to do something different. Instead of going through and picking all of the games, it just takes a long time to get through it all. From now on, we're just going to pick all the ranked games. Any game featuring a ranked team, we're just going to go through all the ranked teams and pick. And then we're each going to pick 5 games of our own choice. But how we're going to do it is you can only pick games that are within a 5 point spread unless you're going to pick an upset. And then if you're going to pick an upset, the spread can be anything. So I think
That
that's how
worked.
we're going to do it from now on.
Yeah, and it would cut down on a lot of the short, like the cut down of the videos. And like I know last week we tried to do a video. It's just you were down at the Duke Illinois game, and then you left your laptop at your parents' house. So it was
Yeah,
just,
that was
it
not good.
was it was just a bad week.
That was on me. Let me figure out the volume here because I'm having a hard time hearing you. Um, and was this my TV? Because you are hooked into the TV, so that could be a problem, even though I have the volume up. I don't know. We'll get through it. So our first matchup for tomorrow at noon, we've got Oregon at Northwestern.
This is gonna be a close game for maybe one quarter, and then Oregon just absolutely steamrolls Northwestern.
I don't think it'll be close at any point. And I imagine they'll probably honor Charlie Kirk at the game too.
Yeah, Rip
So they're
Charlie.
definitely going to destroy Northwestern tomorrow. So I got Oregon
Oh
rather
yeah,
easily.
that's right. I forgot Charlie Kirk was a graduate of Oregon.
Yeah, he's a big Oregon Duck.
Yeah.
So both going to Oregon, and then I'm excited for this game. I'll be watching this one for sure. Clemson at Georgia Tech.
So this is one of those that I feel like I'm scared to pick Georgia Tech because Clemson didn't look like themselves against Troy, but at the same time, Clemson's run defense is terrible this year, and that's what Georgia Tech loves to do is run the football. And so I'm going to go Georgia Tech, even though I feel like Clemson's going to bounce back this week and really win big.
I I'm on the Georgia Tech train. I'm going Georgia Tech.
Like I want to see Georgia Tech finally get that big win and get ranked and everything, and see that.
I think that run game with between Haynes King and Jamal Haynes. I think the run
Jamal,
game's
to be honest, I think Jamal Haynes is one of the best running backs in the country.
yeah. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good game.
He reminds me a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs when he was at Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Oklahoma at Temple. I got Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, give me the Boomer Sooners.
And then we have Wisconsin at Alabama. And I think Alabama probably will win that one.
Well, it would have been closer in this game if Edwards was playing, but he's been ruled out for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So this game's going to be Alabama. Um, I think they keep it close for a quarter or two in Wisconsin, but I think second half Alabama pulls away.
Yeah. We've got SEMO at Michigan, and I got Michigan with a
I
bounce
got
back
I
this
got
week.
Michigan in this one.
Yeah.
Also, start of the Sharon Moore suspension.
Yeah. Still dumb. They've been punished enough. Come on. South Alabama and Auburn. Going Auburn.
I'm gonna go Auburn, but that one could be an interesting one. Um, South Alabama's been known to put up some fights against FBS schools, and
Man,
Auburn's been known to play really bad in trap games.
well, if they played what 2 years ago, because South Alabama had that 10-11 win season.
Yeah, if they would have played then, no, South Alabama would have won.
Yeah, because they had a really good team a couple years ago, I th- and Auburn wasn't that great. So if they had played a couple years ago, I think South Alabama would have beat them, honestly. Louisiana and Missouri, Mizzou.
Yeah, I got to go Missouri on this one.
I mean, some of these we don't even really need to discuss. Like Penn State's going to win easy.
Yeah, Penn State over Villanova is going to be a blowout.
I could see that being like
69,
41-7.
69-3.
Not that much. Because they only put up, I think, 34 last week.
Well, that's because Penn State's usually really conservative with play calling in games like that. So, like, if they decide to run the score up, I could see it being as high as 69-3, 69-0.
Yeah, I don't think they'll put up that much. I was thinking 41-7, something like that. Game day is going to be in Knoxville for Georgia, Tennessee.
Yep.
Um, Georgia's had their number in recent years, but
I
I
hate to
don't
say it,
think
but
they get it done
Tennessee,
this year. I think Tennessee defends their home turf, and I think Tennessee wins.
there's just like living in Knoxville and like watching this team the first couple of weeks of the season and just everything they've been through in the off season. It's almost like they haven't skipped a beat.
Yeah,
And and when a team is like that, it almost reminds me of going back to 2022 when Hendon Hooker kind of took over for Joe Milton and how
yeah,
he just accelerated the program. And that's what Joey Aguilar's done. Like the passing game looks so much smoother with him versus Nico. The run game has a three-headed monster that nobody can seem to stop right now. I mean, yeah, it was ETSU and Syracuse, but still, you got three running backs that are capable to start anywhere in the country. Um, you got an experienced offensive line. Defense is young, but they're proven. Like they've proven themselves. So
yeah,
I really do feel like Tennessee beats Georgia this year.
yep. And going back to 2022 with Hendon Hooker, because at that point in the year they'd already beaten Alabama, so that was a big game, and Georgia kind of I don't want to say shut them down defensively, but
Well,
pretty much,
Georgia that year defensively was just they had Malachi Starks, they had Zion
yeah.
Lowe, they had so many guys that went to the NFL that year. I mean, it,
But what I was gonna say is I think it's gonna be the other way around this year.
yeah, I think Tennessee has the better defense this year,
Yeah,
and I think they also have the better offense, like the receiving core, like just the chemistry they already have with Aguilar and everything, and just the way Aguilar's been able to play. One
yeah,
thing I do think we haven't seen anything, I don't think we've seen a lot of it yet, but I think it's going to play a big factor in this game is Aguilar's running ability. We saw it at App State, but we haven't seen it yet this year in Syracuse versus um, ETSU. But I think you do see a little bit of that against Georgia.
yeah. So we're moving on down the line here. Oregon State at Texas Tech. This is back-to-back games featuring starters from my Blue Devil team last year. Hate they left, but we got Oregon State at Texas Tech.
I got to go Texas Tech. I've been high. I was high on the Red Raiders before the season kicked off, and I think they get it done here this week.
Yeah, they went off last week.
Like right now, the way it's looking like an Iowa State Texas Tech matchup for the Big 12 championship.
Who else could be in the mix, do you think?
Well, if Houston wins tonight, I would consider them being in the mix.
Yeah,
Kansas,
we'll
Kansas is not
see.
completely out of the picture.
Hmm.
Kansas,
Yeah, yeah, no, they could definitely be in the mix
and
here.
then I hate to say it, but Bachmeyer and BYU look really good.
Yeah.
So those are kind of my teams that I would put up there in the conversation. Arizona State's not out of it yet, but they just don't look the same this year. Like after losing Scatabo, they just offensively they're struggling.
And I had mentioned that I think in our first video we did for this
Yeah,
year.
you had mentioned that because you had brought up the fact that they lost Cody Schrader at Missouri, and then a
Yeah.
year later they like plummeted.
Yep, very, very similar. So that was my worry coming in was the similarity there. We got speaking of Iowa State, weird that they're going on the road at Arkansas State, but I don't think that matters. I think Iowa State takes care of
Yeah, I don't
business
think it
there.
matters. This Iowa State team is really, really good. Like they offensively, their receiving core is starting to really come together. They got an experienced quarterback. That defense is really good.
Yeah.
Um, like I think this is an Iowa State team that does get over the hurdle and possibly makes it to the college football playoffs this year.
Yep. Um, Arkansas State, I was saying was my sleeper to win the Sun Belt, but probably not going to happen. UTEP at Texas. Texas wins that one easily.
Yeah, Tech. There's not really a question. I will say this though, watching Arch Manning in the last couple of games, I don't see Texas making the college football playoffs. Like
Well, they have a tough schedule.
his footwork and everything. It's like he's had wide open receivers the last couple of games, and he's not reading the field properly. Like he'll throw it down to the check down instead of throwing it into the open area. It's almost like he's throwing to a receiver instead of a spot on the field. And a quarterback needs to be able to put it in a spot on the field and let his receivers run to the ball. And
Yeah.
and that's not what he's doing. Like you go back and analyze the Ohio State game, and he had receivers wide open. If he would have just put it over the quarterback's head or just below the safe, like he had guys open,
Yeah.
and he panicked.
Yeah. Oh man, what game was it? Oh, it was the JMU Louisville game. Um JMU had the little flea flicker play and over dude, that one receiver got so open and they just overshot him. Like that was such an easy touchdown.
The
And it just went so sailed
hard
right
way
over his
to
head. Like, oh man, that was it. This was gonna be a touchdown. They score there, they probably even though it was early on in the game, they score right there. They probably could have won the game. But there's gonna be some anticipation around this one. South Florida at Miami.
So I saw a stat today when I was on my lunch break at work. The last time South Florida was ranked number 18 in the country was 2007, and they were 2-0 going into that game. The last time they played a number 5 ranked team in the third week was 2007. They went on the road to play number 5 West Virginia and beat them.
Hmm.
I'm going with the South Florida Bulls because I picked them back to back weeks. Even though we didn't do a video last week, I had them in a parlay. I'm sticking with the Bulls and I'm sticking with the Grammatica Magic, man.
Wow. Um, I think it's gonna be a bit of a different story. Um,
Because their
might be
defense,
close.
I've watched their defense in 2 games so far, and their defense is elite. Like they brought in a lot of veteran guys and everything, and they know how to play.
I definitely think they cover the spread here. They've got Miami favored at 17 and a half right now. I
Yeah, they
think they
definitely
cover the
covered the
spread,
spread. Like they definitely covered the spread.
but I got Miami winning this game.
Like I understand where you're going with it because like Do I want South Florida to win this one? Do I think they have a legitimate shot? Yes.
Oh, I want them to win. It'd be great.
And like I think if Byron Brown continues to play the way he's played the last 2 weeks, they have every bit of a shot to win this game. If Carson Beck commits a couple of turnovers, then that flips the narrative kind of more in South Florida's favor in this game.
We have Ohio taking on the number one team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I think
The
Ohio's
biggest
gonna. I
rivalry
think
in college
Ohio.
football, duh.
I think Ohio will put up some points. But I don't think it's going to be like one of
Back to back
those.
field goals.
Like I think they'll put up at least. I'm going to give them. I'm going to give them 13. I think they'll put up at least 13 points. Um, but Ohio State wins this game.
Yeah, I think Ohio has a fairly similar team to last year, so
Yeah, they pretty much got everybody back.
still have a lot of the point production, but it is Ohio State, so I don't know how much they're really going to score. Um, the point spread's at 29 and a half.
Uh, I would take Ohio State to cover.
Yeah, I think it could be like a 41-6 type deal.
Yeah, I would take Ohio even with Ohio scoring 13 points. I would still take Ohio State to cover to 26 and
Yeah.
a half.
Western Michigan and Illinois. I got Illinois.
I got Illinois in that one.
It's Illinois. And then we have 7 o'clock on ESPN, Arkansas taking on Ole Piss.
I have upset. I have Arkansas. I got the Gazorbacks taking down the Rebels.
I want to go Arkansas here. I do.
Ole Miss didn't look that impressive against Kentucky, and Kentucky's pretty bad this year.
Well, I think Ole Miss squeaks one out. I think they squeak it out.
I don't know, man. Like I watched a little bit of Arkansas last week, and Taylor Green looks a lot more improved and polished than last year.
Yeah. Well, he should be. Um, Night game in Death Valley is going to be tough for Florida. But I think Florida actually bounces back this week, and I think they win in a tough environment.
See, I wanted to go Florida, but I just think Nussmeier is kind of like Joe Burrow from 2020, to where he's just out to prove something. And I just think LSU gets this one done. Do I think it's going to be a close game? I say yes. I think the point spread is going to be within 10 points, like
Okay.
10 or less.
Um, this is going to be a fun one too. Texas A&M at Notre Dame.
I have I have the Aggies winning this one on the road. And
Uh,
and if the Aggies win this one, Notre Dame's playoff chances are pretty much shot
they're down in the
because
12.
they don't have another ranked team on the schedule. Which, to be fair, I kind of expected Notre Dame to kind of miss out on the playoffs this year just because of a new quarterback, and they lost a lot on defense. Um, but if they win this one, then it's kind of one of those situations to where now you're kind of hoping for possibly Boise to get back into the top 25 later in the year, which I could see a way for that to happen. Um,
Sliding
because
is atrocious. Sorry.
is it storming where you are?
Huh?
Oh, you're the lighting.
Yeah, it's atrocious. So
Yeah, we
bad.
gotta we gotta invest in some lighting setups for our videos, but that's besides the point.
Oh, you definitely do. I mean, you look like I don't even know what you look like right now.
I'm the Black Mel Gibson. That's what I am.
Sure.
um,
It's a different kind of patriot over here.
But no,
I'm kind of with you.
I just feel like Marcel Reed I would be a little more comfortable with him in a game like this than I would CJ Carr.
Well, especially after
Even with
last
it being
year's
at home.
game with Notre Dame winning a close game, a good defensive game.
And not to mention a Mike Elko defense is hard to play against.
Yeah, well, and yeah, I think there's just more experience on that A&M team this year. So I am kind of with you there. I think um, Notre Dame's actually favored by 6.5 somehow, but
I would take A&M to cover the spread.
they might even win by like 10 or 13 or something like that. So
Yeah, I would take A&M to cover the spread. Because
I'm with you there.
even if they lose, it's going to be by 3, I think.
Okay, yeah, but I'm kind of with you there. I'm going A&M as well. Vanderbilt at South Carolina, and I'm going with that Pavia Magic. I'm going Vandy.
Dude, after watching him against Virginia Tech, like this Vanderbilt team is looking good, like really good.
And let's not for Virginia Tech put up a fair fight with South Carolina too.
Yeah, like that's the thing is, I don't know, man. Like Lenora Sellers looks good, and yeah, they got Neighbor for their wide receiver, but really, other than that, they don't really have a whole lot. Like, yeah, they got Faison for their running back and everything, but I mean,
I don't. They're no match for Pimp Vandy. Come on now.
I don't know. It's something about Pavia, and this game is at Vanderbilt, so it's one of those that it makes it even.
No, it's in Columbia.
Oh, it is in Columbia.
Yeah, I, I don't think it matters though. I got Pimp Vandy.
Well, that does change a lot. Columbia is a tough place to play.
I think Pimp Vandy's ready for it.
I'm gonna go with the Pavia Magic, but I have a feeling we both get that one wrong this weekend. Like I just
I feel pretty good about it.
kind of like the Georgia Tech game. Like I just
Yeah. Utah, Wyoming. I got Utah.
yeah, Utah wins that one pretty easily.
Okay, which brings us to the portion of the video where we each have to pick 5 games of our own here that occur throughout the rest of the day tomorrow. I'm telling you my first one, I'm gonna pick Duke over Tulane. Obviously, I got to. Can't go against my Dukies. So that's gonna be my first one. And who's your first matchup gonna be?
My first matchup, I am gonna go with the backyard brawl,
It's a good one.
and I am gonna go with it's at home, and I feel like West Virginia stuns Pittsburgh.
Okay. And
I
that's
think
interesting because with
they
our
get a
deal
bounce.
here,
They
you have
get a
to pick
bounce back.
games within a 5 point spread.
Yep.
Pitt's actually favored by 7.5. So the only way you can pick that is by going with the upset,
Yep. I feel
and you're
like they
going West
bounce.
Virginia. So
I feel
that
like they bounce back and get the win this week.
interesting. I for my next game, I'm gonna go. I think Boston College is at Stanford this week. Let me scroll down. It's a late
They are.
game.
They are.
Yep. So 10:30. Boston College is favored by 14.5. I'm going Stanford for the outright win there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like if I was on game day and did a super dog pick, I think I'd go Stanford for my super dog.
Wow. Okay. My next game that I'm going is Jacksonville State. I forget who
Okay.
they're for. I think that's Florida International.
Florida International is FAU this week. Jacksonville State is Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern is favored by 2.5. So
Yeah, I'm going Jacksonville State with the outright win.
Okay.
I have been high on my Gamecocks this year, and they almost delivered against UCF.
My next one, I'm going to go back down here. Minnesota is only favored by 2.5, but I think they win by a lot more than that. I got Minnesota over Cal.
Yeah, I think that game's going to be a little more wide open than what the spread is.
Okay, so that's my third. What's your third here going to
Whose
be?
teach do you got this week?
Abilene Christian.
Oh, never mind. Can't go that one.
No.
Um, Washington State.
I think is that an earlier game or is that a later game? Washington State is at North Texas, and North Texas is favored by 5.5.
I'm going with Washington State.
Okay.
Gonna go with the Cougs.
The Cougs. For my next pick, I'm going Youngstown State over Michigan State. No, not really. Um, there was an earlier game, I think. No, no, there wasn't. Okay. So we each have three, so we need two more. Um, who am I thinking here? I was kind of contemplating going ODU over Virginia Tech, but I think Virginia Tech wins that one this year.
Yeah, they're not gonna go 0-3.
No, there's no way. Um,
If they do, Brent Fry is fired.
yeah. Um, wow. Okay. I tell you what. Let's see. Air Force is favored by 3.5. I'm gonna go Utah State over Air Force,
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
and then I know what I'm doing for my last one.
One of mine, I am gonna go with Memphis versus, I believe it's Rice
Uh, did I pass Memphis at Troy?
at Troy. And what's the spread on that one?
Memphis is favored by 4.5, so that's within your frame there.
I'm gonna go with Troy on the outright.
Okay. Well,
They
for my
showed
last one,
they showed a lot of fight against Clemson.
they did. I think that could have ended up being one of the fluke games. It didn't. Clemson avoided the scare. Um, for my last one, I'm going back down here to Florida Atlantic at Florida International.
Ooh.
Florida International's on the rise. FAU, I think, has a better team than they did a year ago. Florida International is only favored by 1.5. I'm going to take FAU on the road to get the win there. Give me the Owls.
Woohoo, woohoo.
You should go with the Merrimack Warriors over the Kennesaw State Owls.
I mean, that wouldn't be terrible.
It wouldn't be great. And
Uh,
right now, just a quick update. It is almost halftime. Houston leads 16-7 over
okay, so
Colorado.
Colorado did score.
Yep.
Trying to think of another game that has 5 point spread.
App State, Southern Miss. App State's favored by 3.5. And again, I mean, it has to be within the 5 point spread unless you're going with an upset. And if you're going with an upset, it doesn't matter what the spread is.
Who was? Hold on.
But my five, I'm going Duke over Tulane. And I believe if I look at the spread here, I need to make sure of that. Yeah, Tulane's favored by 1.5. So I'm going with my Dukies. I'm going Stanford over Boston College, Minnesota over Cal, Utah State over Air Force, and then I've got Florida Atlantic over Florida International. And right now you have West Virginia winning the backyard brawl this year. You've got Jacksonville State getting a win, and then you have Washington State over North Texas and Troy over Memphis. And so you need one more here.
I'm
And then
looking.
obviously our bonus pick is going to have to be Georgia at Tennessee. So we'll think of that here in a sec.
All right, I'm gonna go Liberty at Bowling Green,
Okay.
and I am gonna go with Eddie George and the Bowling Green Falcons.
You're going Bowling Green?
I'm going Bowling Green. Liberty is favored by 5.5 in that game. I'm gonna. Do I have to pick Bowling Green outright, or can I pick them to cover spread?
Um, I was just saying we picking the outright.
Okay,
We're
that's
just
fine.
picking
Yeah, I'll pick them outright.
because obviously we're just picking to win, but what I was saying is we can only pick within a 5 point spread unless you're picking an upset. In that case, it doesn't matter. But we're picking outright wins. So, um, now
All
for
right.
our bonus pick,
I think I know what we need to do for bonus pick,
okay,
and this is gonna tie a little bit into with your Dookie Blue Devils. Is how many rushing yards does Star Thomas have?
okay.
Because in my opinion, he's been the best running back out of the three.
127.
You're gonna go 127.
Yeah.
I think because it's Georgia and they split it amongst the three backs, I'm gonna say he has 76 rushing yards.
Okay. Cool deal. Well, that's going to do it for our picks for this week. So good luck to you. And also for those who may come across and may watch, please put your picks in the comments because I kind of want to keep score here with our listeners. So I want to give away some prizes.
Yeah, we do need to start giving away some stuff with some of our audience and everything. So y'all kind of comment, interact, and let us know like what kind of content stuff you would like to see more of. Because I know basketball season's going to be started and everything. I know we had talked about doing some more stuff with basketball.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's kind of in the works. It's not been officially done yet, but we are working on that.
We also, between the two of us, because we made our picks for week one. We didn't last week, unfortunately, but I have everything tallied up from week one. So that is going to count towards this season for our points standings. So between the two of us, whoever loses is going to have to be punished this year. We're going to have to
Yeah,
go through the
yeah,
punishment.
we're gonna have to go through with a punishment. We can't keep putting them off.
No. So we absolutely have to do that this year. And the listeners need to come up with a punishment. So please, if you guys have ideas for what the loser should do, don't hesitate to leave a comment about that. So, do you have anything else to add?
I think that's pretty much it.
All righty, cool deal. Well, good luck. Happy football, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.